I remember I used to see my friends go through it, and I used to say, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. Never say when you would what you wouldn't dare do.
Yeah.
Because under different circumstances, yes.
You won't know
You
until
will.
you find yourself in that
Exactly.
situation.
But as we was little, my mom and dad used to always tell me, don't run and get your brothers and them if you ain't done with a situation. Because that's how people get killed. I went and got a job. He came to my job and pulled me out by my hair.
At your job?
At my job. My past relationship, his sister-in-law came to me and said, you always smiling like you so happy, but in your eyes you hurting.
Ooh. Her husband shot her 3 times, set her on fire, and then buried her in the backyard.
I know them.
Hello world, how everybody out there doing today? Hopefully everybody doing sensational. Welcome to another episode of Generational Health and Self-Love. I'm your host, Life.
Uneasy.
And today we have a very special guest. I'm so proud to have this person in the studio with us. She goes by, well, she holds a few different titles. She's an author. She's a nurse. She's a mother. She's an entrepreneur. She just does a lot. So we just glad to have her here, and we want to pick her mind about a few different topics today. So without no further ado, please welcome Nisha to the show.
Hey.
So how you doing today?
I'm good.
Yes, it's really good to have you on the show today. We got a real big topic today, something that I feel like has kind of get glossed over on a day-to-day basis. Like it's going on, it's very relevant in our communities, and it's something I think that gets swept under the rug often. So we're gonna put a spotlight on that situation, and we're gonna go in and we're gonna talk about that. But before we do, can you introduce yourself to the people and just let them know who you are and what you do?
I'm Nisha. I go by Cha-Cha though.
Okay.
What you want me to say?
Just whatever. What you're author. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah, I wrote 3 books.
Okay, congratulations.
Yeah, and I work in plastic surgery. I'm a nurse.
Okay. What was hold on, before you go on, you said you wrote, you can't just tell us about the books and not what books did you?
Oh, I wrote books like self-help books, like to help me.
Okay.
So they were self-help books for me and anybody else that was going through whatever I've been through.
That can relate to your situation.
Exactly.
One of your books was called Her, right?
Right.
How was that book? How was when you first of all, before you even get to that, what was it like the first time you actually put a book out there and you looking at like, this is something I did, like I accomplished that? How did that feel?
It felt good. It felt great. I was proud of myself.
That's good. You should be, because that's a big accomplishment. So and you say you also are a nurse and you work in plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
So how's that experience?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love making people feel good about how they look. I mean, no judgment here.
Yeah.
So
you probably ran across a lot of like entertainers.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. How was your experience dealing with those type of people?
It's just like regular people. I just do my job, keep it professional.
That's what's up. Yeah. You got any questions for her?
Well, yeah, actually, where are you from? Like, where do you come from?
I'm from Alton.
Alton?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. And then the thing we like to do is like, how was you raised? Like, what did you have, your mom and dad, or like how was the household when you?
Yeah, I had both parents in the household, but I was a little, firecracker though.
A little rebellious.
Oh, very much. I ran away. I stole the car. I did anything I thought a typical teenager done.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, you learn from that though, I'm sure.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Because I got 2 kids of my own, and man, I guess payback's man. That's all I want to say.
Well, we live and we learn,
Exactly.
That's all that is. Life is about experiences, and experiences are the best teachers. We can tell people whatever we want to tell them, but until they have their own life experience, sometimes they will never get it, you know. And I'm one of those people because I was told a lot of different things growing up. Do this and do that, and I ignored those things, which resulted in me being in places I didn't want to be. So I definitely understand um, it now being a parent and trying to keep my kids away from the things I went through. It can be very challenging. You know, it can definitely be a difficult thing.
It didn't work for me.
It's working.
I mean, with my girl, it did, but with my son, it didn't work for me. I kept him away from all that.
Mm-hmm.
I moved here when he was 6,
Mm-hmm.
and my daughter was 8, and I promise you, he ate everything that he is not. That's all I want. I mean, not talking about him, but I mean, he wasn't around it. I don't even know where he get it from.
Well,
You know?
I think, you know, as he grew up into his teenage years, social media came about and TV and the images that they put out there for our young guys. I mean, you got people that never even touched the projects think they hood.
Man.
You know what I mean?
From Atlanta?
Oh, yeah, I was like.
Yeah. Kind of like you. You was 3, 4 when you moved here.
Yeah, but that's like in the city though. You talking about like down in?
We stayed in Marietta.
Yeah. So it's kind of
By
like
the time I
Marietta, kind of like this.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, Fayetteville.
By the time I moved to the city, he was grown. He had already graduated, everything.
Yeah. But you know, like I say, it's just it's a process, and sometimes it could be some people's what I'm trying to say, they path could be a little different. It's different for others, you know. Some people's paths are more challenging than others, but at the end of the day, I'm sure things will work themselves out.
That's why I say I guess I got my karma, because I wasn't brought up in the projects either.
Oh,
but I wanted to be there so bad. Yes.
You wasn't brought up in the projects, but you ran to the projects.
Yeah.
You
I stayed. My mom and dad stayed in the house off 9th Street, but I wanted to be in the projects, in the mix.
Did you know people who was out there?
Yeah, my grandma stayed
that's
out
okay.
there.
Yeah.
So I felt like I was from there too, and was not.
But you know, like I said, it's all about experience. You have to, whatever you sing there, whatever you did there, whatever, those things helped you evolve as you got older, because you learned from them things, and you was like, hold on, wait a minute, what I'm doing? Okay, all this time I should have been, because look at you, you're a nurse, you work in plastic surgery, you're an author, you wrote a book, so you know all those things made you who you are today. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But no, that's just, you know, like you said, your background and the things you would run into and to where you are now, you probably like, damn, I done came a long way.
But it's because when I had kids, I felt like I had to change. I wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want them to, you know, be in poverty or suffer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not that I suffered or whatever, but it just was different.
Yeah.
Because I was a single mother.
Yeah.
Coming from a 2-parent household to got 2 kids, raising them by yourself, it was very different. And they seen a lot.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And you worked a lot too. I remember at one point you had 2 jobs.
Yeah.
You know, so you was
going to school.
And going to school.
I was trying to get it.
Yeah. And you getting it, you got it, and there's more to come.
That's right.
So I'm glad you're here, because I think you are a very good person to speak on this topic. Today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is domestic violence. And that's something that I feel like our community likes to sweep under the rug. I mean, going back to when my parents was young and to when their parents were young up until today's time, I think that's a topic that a lot of people kind of run from. And I think they run from it from the fear of feeling vulnerable and telling people what's going on inside their household, when in actuality, people need help. And some people, we were just having a conversation earlier, some people in domestic violence relationship and don't even know it. Don't even know that they're being abused. So I want to ask you, from your life experience, what do you think about domestic violence? Or matter of fact, let me just ask you this: what are some of the signs of domestic violence, you think, in your opinion?
To me, the first sign from experience, because I can't speak of nobody else, but it come from control, yelling at you, making you fear him in some type of way.
Yeah.
You know, making sure you sit down like they your daddy.
Yeah.
And you already been raised. So, but I think what women don't understand is like a slap, a choke. It's gonna get worse. I mean, real bad.
Yeah. And I think what do you think women stay in these relationships like because of their own personal experience growing up in their environment and what they've seen?
Sometimes
Yeah.
I feel like if you seen your mother getting, abused by her boyfriend, father, whatever the case may be, you might have thought it was okay. This is the way life's supposed to went.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I went through it and never seen it. I have never seen my dad put his hand on my mom.
Mm.
But I went through it because it was like the people that I hung around.
Mm-hmm.
And so the peers that I hung around, when they man slapped them or beat on them, they called it love.
Mm.
So I was confused.
It was normal to them.
Yeah, so I thought, well, maybe he loved me too. Get slapped a couple times, but hey.
So if you see that, if a person sees that as love, then that just goes back to what I said. A person don't even know they in a domestic violence relationship.
Right.
They think it's love.
They think they getting disciplined and raised by something, a man. It's just as equal to you supposed to be because your parents already raised you.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of times the way people perceive the situation they in is not even based off them. It's based off of what they seen or who they hang around, like you just kind of said.
Exactly.
Could it be either the parents that they seen had something to do with that, or like you said with your friends and that environment. It's and I think that's why it ended up lasting for so long.
Yeah.
Because I mean, nobody get like pre-experience to know like what is and like what ain't. Like, is this the right way, or you don't know, you don't know like what's right and what's wrong when it comes to a relationship. So people really don't be knowing, and then they end up letting stuff like this last for way too long before it get too dangerous.
Because do you know how fear is when you try to leave somebody and they tell you they gonna kill you or kill your parents, or it's like real fear. You believe that because of whatever's going on in y'all household. You fear him, so you thinking that he could possibly real do that.
Actually, yeah.
So you just stay there and be miserable.
That's deep right there. And for you ladies out there, and we know men go through some of this too, but I'm speaking mainly for the ladies because we know they are the more victims of domestic violence than men. You definitely need to take heed to some signs, because like the constant criticism, the belittling, the making fun of you, those are ways to help a person break you down so they can have more control over you and your thoughts and how you feel about yourself. So understand that when a person is talking about you or belittling you, making you feel bad about yourself, they only using really, sometimes they telling you how they feel about themselves too at the same time, because a lot of this comes from men who probably been they might have been abused themselves, they might have been bullied in school, and so now they taking all this out on you because they wasn't able to take it out on the person who actually guilty of doing them the wrong way. So please take heed to those different signs. Would you agree that all domestic violence is not physical?
Of course. It's mental too.
Okay, definitely.
You just said like calling you names, belittling you.
Yeah.
Of course. They'll call you fat, then you'll see them cheating on you with a fat girl. So it's not really
that's deep
I'm
right
serious.
There.
So everything they say, they don't mean it. They just know you and they know how to get to you.
Yeah.
They didn't studied you.
Yeah.
They studied you so hard. They know you're not gonna tell. They know you're not gonna tell the police. They didn't put that much fear into you.
Wow. That's crazy because when you think about it, that's emotional manipulation, basically.
And the first thing you say, I remember I used to see my friends go through it, and I used to say, I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. never say when you would what you wouldn't dare do.
Yeah.
Because under different circumstances, yes.
You won't know
you
until
will.
you find yourself in that situation.
Exactly.
And sometimes I wonder, do women at one point, is it? I guess it's different for everybody, but I would think like at one point, do a woman realize that she's been abused and this ain't right, and I need to do something about it, or is just they recognize it early but don't know how to deal with it? What you think?
I recognized it first off. I was like, oh, I've got to see how I'm gonna get out of here.
Oh, so you started making your escape plan as soon as it jumped up. Yeah.
Because it was like more of embarrassment.
Yeah.
Like, dang, your own mom and dad didn't even go through that. Why would you allow a man to do you like that?
When you didn't see it.
And then now it's like, they didn't took you so much of this control. They won't let you have a job. So you like, what I'm gonna do for money? What I'm gonna do? So you save up what they give you, because I'm telling you, when they beat you, they give you gifts. So you better put a little in the bank. So when you put that in the bank, you have somewhere to go to.
Yeah. I hope y'all paying attention to that. That was a jewel she just dropped. When they beat you, when they hit you, they try to make up, and so they give you things, whether it's money, whether it's purses, whether it's shopping sprees, whatever. Put some of that stuff up and start planning your escape plan, your exit plan, for especially if you got children in the home, because now the cycle continues, and now they seeing their mom get hit on, and either they gonna accept it and say that's the way life is, or they gonna grow up and say they don't want to be a part of that. Either or, it's gonna affect them mentally moving forward, and hopefully, whether girl or boy, they don't take that type of mindset to their relationship as they get older and they become adults.
Yeah, so I had a question. Like, so did you know how their relationship with their parents was? Because I know, like we were saying about why we think that women stay longer than usual because of their environment. I'm thinking is that sometimes the same reason that for the person who's doing the abusing is it because like and how they grew up in their environment. So like, yeah, was the person you was dealing with? Do you know how they grew or their parents?
You talking about like the man?
Yes.
Yeah. You but it wasn't abusive. No, they didn't see that.
Wow.
No, they didn't see that.
So maybe
they might have seen other signs of abusive for us. What you call that abusive? Like the father going outside the home, making other babies on their mother, stuff like that. But for us, no, they didn't see that.
Well, they probably didn't see it in their home, but they might have seen it with their peers.
Yes.
Different people that they was cool with, girlfriends.
And they said they probably said if you want to control your woman, this is what you got to do. Then afterwards, make sure she's straight.
Yeah.
Buy her something. Let her and her friends go on the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, then beat her when she come back home. Because she stayed home too long. You got like a dog.
Yeah.
Keeping them in check.
Yeah. And making them just really depend on you for everything. Emotional, physically, mentally, spiritually, like you. Like,
I went and got a job. He came to my job and pulled me out by my hair.
At your job?
At my job.
They didn't.
He said, "I pay you more than they pay you anyway."
They didn't call the cops if people you got the job.
If they did, he made sure he got me out of there because I left with him because I was scared.
Yeah.
Right.
So they don't want you to work. They control you with different things.
Ain't that something? Control is I guess did I don't know about your experience, but did he try to keep you isolated from your friends and family?
Yeah, I couldn't have nobody come over our house. Ooh. I couldn't have no company. No.
Because of
and it was a cutoff of how much I can go see my parents.
You only got so much time.
Yeah.
If you ain't back or if I don't
hear
from you.
But he can be gone for 2 days. But he better know I'm at home.
Damn. That's a lot of control.
He didn't have any fear of you saying anything about what was going on?
No, he already controlled my mind.
Oh, because he was scared, fear, and all that.
Yeah, he already controlled my mind, and after my mind was gone, what else he gone? I mean, come on now.
Yeah, that's everything.
Yeah, it's everything.
So it sounds like a man to get a woman in a relationship and just completely just tear her down.
Yep.
Just to build her up to what he wants her to be.
Yeah.
Not what she wants to be.
And then when I wanted to escape, sometimes I used to be scared because he used to say, "You 21, who gonna want you with 2 kids?"
Oh Oh, so trying to belittle you.
Yes, that real bad.
Yeah, make you feel like he right. Who is gonna want me
And
and
that's
my
what
children?
I thought.
So
I
I
might as well stay here.
Cause I'm gonna probably go through something worse.
That's
somewhere
what you
else.
think, but no. And I'm glad I got away because it got better and better. Because I knew that if I love myself, I knew not to let another man play with me in that way.
I know that's right. Now one thing I see this is kind of like I see like trying to say this the right way, but I've seen women take up for their abusers, and I'm like, wow. And not to, cause I understand, but at the same time I don't understand because I'm like, this person has beat you, hit you, left you in the home, took you away from your family, took you, basically isolated you. It's like being on an island and you don't nobody exists outside of this home.
Right.
And then to take up for that person, I'm like, what are you doing? What are you teaching your children? I just don't get it. And I understand, but I just don't get it.
Usually an abuser, they beat their kids too.
Damn.
Yeah. As soon as kids don't do what they say, they chastise their kids in a way that you ain't never seen. So it's a form of beat to me.
Yeah, I think depending on the situation, them taking up for the abuser is probably saying what she said with the mind. They have control of their mind.
Yeah.
Don't tell them how they see the situation, how they thinking about it.
Yeah.
So you never know.
Because one time I did have company, right? Because we had a little barbecue, and I was, me and him had got into it, and she, tried to jump in it. He pushed her down the stairs. And she was like, I ain't you, I'm calling the police. Yeah. And I said, you better not call the police on my baby daddy. See how dumb I was? Yeah. But today, you wouldn't catch me.
Yeah.
You live and learn, Yeah.
Was your friend mad at you after that happened?
Yeah, she never talked to me again. I still don't talk to her to this day.
Oh, wow.
Damn.
But I gotta respect it.
Yeah.
Because I was wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Because she was only trying to help.
Yeah.
And wasn't trying to be abused.
She had love for me and she was trying to help me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't see. I had my blinders on.
Yeah. Basically, he had done a good job.
Oh, real good.
At tearing you down at that point of your life.
I thought all I needed was him.
I think some men, I can't speak for no man, but I think some men abuse women because, like I said, they were bullied. And because a lot of abusers that I've seen, they won't ever do that to a man. They rarely try another man, but they will beat a woman down. But then apologize to a man for something that may happen. Yeah. Oh, my fault, bro. I ain't mean to do that. But then the woman that bear their children or love them, they will beat on. I'm like, how would you allow another man to disrespect you, but then feel like it's okay to go put your hands on your girl?
And you're right, because you know what I learned? Once you fight back, you be like, he can't whoop me. You be like, what was I so scared of?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because the mind.
Yeah.
Once you get a hold of the mind, you pretty much got control of everything. Else. So that's crazy.
My body, my soul, the way I think, the way I talk, the way I walk. Watch what you say in front of other people, because, man. You don't want to get beat up.
So you really like living on, not walking on eggshells, you living on eggshells. Yeah. You can't even give a compliment. Oh, such and such look nice.
You better not.
Better not.
But he can.
Yeah. Oh, she fine.
Oh, yeah. You better shut up.
Man. I've seen it. I've been around people who in relationships and they going through domestic violence, and I see it. And I'm just like, I just feel like, dang, that's messed up. Like people living in a prison that ain't in jail. How can you live in a prison but not be in jail?
Because your mind in prison. They didn't already, just like, schools. Yeah. They control you. They tell you when to eat, when to sit down, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you can go to the bathroom. Same way. I've been in jail before, so I know it's the same way. So it's the same way. But, yeah.
I think going back to what you said about why the men will do that to their woman, but won't go out, and act that way with other dudes. And I think it's back to the control thing you said, because they might feel like they got no control outside of the world, but when they get a little bit they feel like they got a little bit of control of something, they take advantage of it. You know when they say give them an inch, they take a mile.
Mm-hmm.
So now that they feel like they can control this, but all that around their life they have no control over the stuff, so they abuse it,
Exactly.
and then I guess they go down a dark path.
I never looked at it like that, but I agree.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I do too. Like, what you think? What I'm trying to like, what are some ways? Like, how can a woman? How can she prepare herself to get out of a situation like that? Even because when you say they got the mind, that's so powerful to have a person's mind. It's like, will they ever, like, it's like they be in that, they be caught
But
up.
they spoil you in a sense. Because after they get done beating on you, go get your hair done. Now they trying to fix you back up.
Yeah.
Got him, go to the mall, do this, buy this, and that. You know, yes.
And now that makes you feel good. When you could have just got that without putting your hands on it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Well, I got to go, now I can go shopping now, but I could have just did that without us having all this physical
Or they'll take the battery out the car. You got the keys, you trying to go leave because your baby might need some milk.
You can't
your
go
baby,
get no
y'all
milk.
baby. Yeah, you
Wow.
can't go get no milk. No.
Dang.
He got that much. He make sure you go call him.
Take the battery out the car?
Take the battery out the car.
I mean, if you think all the things that what I'm hearing you say, and I'm not familiar from other people's relationships or experiences, if a man put that much into just trying to be successful, you know how farther we'll be with families and stuff like that.
Man.
Because that's, if you talking about manipulation, to take the battery out the car, because you jump in the car, don't even know the battery gone.
Yeah. And you calling him something wrong with the car. No, I'm on my way. What you need?
Ooh, wee!
Yeah.
You can't even go nowhere. And 9 times
And you can't have nobody pick you up.
And if you now this is from what it sounds like to me, you dealing with somebody who's financially stable.
Mm-hmm.
So the money becomes an even bigger factor in the relationship, because it's one thing to be in an abusive relationship with somebody who don't got nothing.
Right.
Because we see that too.
But then you think, once I leave, I ain't gonna have all this.
I ain't gonna have this money.
Yeah,
Now,
and that's dumb.
Yeah.
Because you can rebuild yourself up and go get that job that you wanted so bad that he didn't want you to have, and rebuild yourself up. Because it took me a while.
Yeah.
I was in my early 30s before I realized my worth.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a minute. I wasn't getting beat up no more, but now I'm doing the abusing. But in different ways.
Yeah.
Not with my hands, but with my mouth.
Yeah.
I'm doing I'm doing what's done to me.
Yeah. Because me coming from where I come from, and the reason I can understand where you coming from when you say that is because I left a certain way of life. I left the streets, but the mentality was still there for a long time. See, I physically removed myself, but I mentally was still there in certain ways of my life. So gotcha. I can't relate to you when you say that. Yeah. You left physically, you were gone, but you still had some of that mental. You still had to drain yourself from some of that poison.
It's
that
like
negativity.
A child.
Yeah.
I thought this is the way life's supposed to go.
Yeah.
So now I'm about to do you the way he done me.
Ooh. Without the physical.
Without the physical.
Without the physical.
Because like the times had changed. Because it was a big age difference as well.
Yeah.
I was only 17. He was 26. So like you looking at what he want with me anyway.
Yeah.
But that me being grown and being fast.
Yeah.
So you want the man with the nice ride with the, Yeah.
We attracted to that. Yeah. You see somebody, they got a nice car, they got money, of course, But then once you get to know these people, you like, damn, this ain't what I signed up for.
Like, no way.
Yeah. And to the viewers, we live now in a society that's based on a lot of social media, different platforms, and we follow different people. We just got to be careful. Do your homework on people Just even for me, do your homework on me. Do your homework on my son. You know, this is our podcast and we talk about a lot of different things. But we have to be careful who we choose to follow on these different platforms. Because they'll have you leaving your relationship when they guilty of the same thing that they telling you to leave your relationship for. How you gonna tell me that I should leave my relationship based on this or that when you stayed in your relationship?
Because they trauma bonded.
Ooh, trauma bonded. I ain't never heard that one.
They trauma bonded.
Trauma bonded.
Yeah.
So they becoming closer based
because
on
of their
trauma.
Yeah. And they really wasn't never friends. So now, when the trauma bonding is over, because somebody grew up.
Yeah.
Somebody elevated.
Had some growth.
Yeah, you heard me?
Mm-hmm.
They grew up. They had growth. And the other person stayed where they was.
Yeah.
And they mad.
Yeah.
So now they about to go tell everything that you told them.
Mm.
Yeah, it's going to get real.
Trauma bonding. I don't know if y'all heard of it. This is my first time hearing that phrase, trauma bonding. Definitely want to learn more about that because that's something like, where did you get that from?
People bond over
yeah.
drama and trauma all the time. But they don't even really be friends. Because if you was friends, you know, the same way y'all bond over that trauma, 2 years later, y'all should still be talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they don't be.
Yeah.
And you gotta watch out for your environments because people like that could also bring you down and have you in the same place forever. Just like, kind of like the relationship thing. You have you still in that relationship doing the same stuff, blah, blah, blah. Just because, say, if you had a friend that, like you said, was getting abused, y'all had trauma bonding about y'all both getting abused, and y'all decided to just stay there. If you got out that situation, and then your friend get mad, you know, trying to bring you back down or something, you know, just a situation like that, with people like that can have you back in a situation where you already had left and was trying to get out of. So,
Yeah, because at first you're trying to trick your mind.
Yeah.
So you trauma bonded, like, girl, so what? At least we got all this.
Mm-hmm.
At least we got this and we got that. But now, somebody, either one, then woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Forget all that. I don't want none of that.
Yeah.
I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
the other one ain't understanding.
Yeah, can't
because
relate.
they didn't bond over that at first.
Mm-hmm.
Now they feel like you done changed on them.
So would
know.
you say a man financially would turn you materialistic to keep you control of you as well?
Oh, facts.
Because that's what it sounds like.
But it depends on you too as a
Yeah.
woman and how your mind works too. You know, I'm not going to put it all on the man because you as a woman should have enough self-esteem to know that materialistic things should not keep me bonded to this relationship.
Yeah.
But it does sometimes
Yeah.
because sometimes people grow up poor and never had that and never seen this and never been nowhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So.
And they might think, like you say, if they grew up less fortunate than others and then they get into a situation where it's money, they might feel like that this what comes with that part of life. They might think everybody go through this when they might be one of a few that's going through this because everybody with money is not manipulating.
No.
Everybody with money is not trying to control you.
No.
Some people don't even want to bother with you.
It's the
because-
ones who never had the money and grew up to have the money.
Yeah.
And once they became, you know, in their zone with their little finance, they used it for control. Instead of used it for investment to get ahead in life. Like you said, if three brothers, I ain't even gonna say brothers because I'm a woman. I can find 3 women to go to the club with me.
Yeah.
Every weekend. But
Yeah.
I can't find 3 women to start a business with me.
Ooh, say it loud.
Yeah.
So
say it loud.
it mean a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that what it is like the materialistic stuff is, it's like everything we can see, and we think that this is where it's at. This is everything, you know. That's the highest you can go.
You think it makes you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the things that really matter, you don't see them. It's like you feel them and you know experiencing them. So it's not as like glamorous. You know, you don't grow up. You know,
You can't put love on, but you can put this Gucci sweater
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, so everybody can see that, but
Yeah.
they can't see what really matters. So,
Yeah.
and that's why you kind of got to find it within, and you know, find it for yourself because it's something personal. And but you don't grow up just seeing that in like today's world. You know, like we said, materialistic things is more like what's prominent, what's popping. And even growing up, that's what you see. Like if like for gifts like Christmas, we buying each other's a bunch of stuff and all this other stuff. It's just gifts and a bunch of stuff. You don't actually see the love for self-love all the time.
Yeah.
For
Well,
most
in
people.
my relationship, my past relationship, his sister-in-law came to me and said, "You always smiling, like you so happy, but in your eyes you hurting."
Ooh.
She said, "You better hurry up and go, or it's gonna get worse."
Mm-hmm.
And she was in it.
In a different situation.
Yes, with his brother.
Oh.
So she knew.
Right.
And
right.
so
Right.
who was I to tell her that she wasn't right? I trusted her, and that's what made me leave. But anybody else could have told me anything. I'm like, stay out of my business. Don't worry about what we doing. But I felt her because she was in the same situation, and I was thinking, and she said, and I'm gonna leave too. I just ain't ready.
Damn, she was honest with you and
Yes,
herself.
she was honest with me and herself.
Yeah.
She said, I got 4 kids. You got 2. You better go.
Yeah.
She said, it's going to get worse. And I don't want to come to your funeral.
Ooh.
So that's deep, right?
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah,
So it's time to go.
So what? So like,
I waited till he went to work, called my daddy with the U-Haul, because I never told my daddy he was putting his hands on me. You know why?
Why?
My daddy would have killed him.
But
I'm not just talking.
Yeah.
I know.
but the thing is, now you put your daddy in a situation.
Exactly. And I was going to run back to him.
Yeah.
What kind? I'm less than a woman.
Yeah.
Now I can get my daddy hurt. Because now I'm playing games.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to get...
Or getting locked up for
Yes. And why would I want to take my daddy away from my mama just because of my drama?
Yeah, that's being selfish.
That's selfish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you can take care of yourself like you did.
Exactly.
And you did it the right way.
It was hard.
Yeah.
What did happen? What, like, how did it happen?
I went back staying with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Then I found the guy who liked me for me. But then he went right back to jail too. Mm-hmm. So now I'm like, now it's time, like, go to school. Mm-hmm. So I went to school and I became a medical assistant. Because I never wanted to be a CNA because I can't smell certain stuff. so I became a medical assistant. And then after that, I went to school again and got my associate degree. And I know LPN ain't nothing, like, it's something to me. Wait a minute, I'm about to finish. It's something, but I know that I can do better.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm going back to school in September. Because I feel like next year, by this same time, because I only got to go for a year, I'm going to be an RN.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I feel like I can do better.
Yeah.
And then, like, because, you know, you got all them thoughts in your head. Because no matter how much I done grew, I still think about what he done said. Yeah. You ain't going to be nothing. I made you. You know, so it's
so when you talk about that, those are some of the things that that's deep, because you fighting against that to help yourself.
Yeah.
You wrestling with, was he telling the truth? Am I the person he truly say I am?
First it was I was trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
But now this is my life I'm playing with. I'm not trying to prove a point.
Yeah.
I want to live well.
Right.
So if you want to live well, you have to do well.
Ooh-wee.
So
you said that right.
And I'm doing better than him. So
I
mean, you know,
not
bragging, but I'm just saying.
But the tables change.
Tables change.
That's what basically what you're saying is one person grew, one person maybe stayed the same. You know, because
but you said I needed you.
Yeah.
And it feel good because when he see me, he be like, I'm proud of you. And when he see me, he be so proud. He be like, this my baby mama right here. Look at her.
Yeah, want to brag.
Yeah.
Ain't that something?
But because he feel he has something to do with that.
Yeah.
You see, that's still that control he trying to have over me.
Ooh, I didn't even think about it like that. Dang.
So how did it end up ending? Like when you called your dad to get the U-Haul and got up out of there, that was it?
Nuh-uh. He at this time he called himself doing construction. So he was at work. Okay. My kids was at daycare.
Okay. And
when he got home, he told me I had 5 minutes to get home. He thought I was just out somewhere. And then I said, I'm not coming home. Like that. And then he said, where you at? And then I said, I'm at my mama's house. He said, I'll be over there. But I knew he wasn't going to come over there because my daddy don't play.
Yeah. Right.
And so then he didn't come. He didn't never come. Then he was like, you better come. He was trying to get me. So he's like, you better come get your kids. So now the new man that I'm messing with, me and him go meet him at a gas station to get my kids. But he jumps on him.
Your baby dad jumped on the dude.
Jumped on him. But the dude I was messing with at the time wasn't nothing to play with. So, I mean, now you see, you like, dang, you was doing me like that, but you ain't gonna do this man like this? Wow. And my baby daddy ain't little, he's 6'4". Every bit of 250.
Yeah,
So I mean,
Yeah.
you know.
but he got okay.
Yeah, he got dealt with, so it made me feel look.
Yeah. I'm winning
Yeah,
now.
I'm winning
I've been
now.
going
Yeah.
through all this abuse, but I'm feeling better.
Did you end up getting kids?
Yeah, I got my kids back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got my kids.
Okay.
But then the worst part about that is once you leave them controlling men, they leave you and your kids. What my kids do?
Support, no support.
No,
All right,
what they do?
Yeah.
They didn't do nothing. I left you,
Mm-hmm.
not them.
Right. They ain't had nothing to do with
I mean, did he get them every weekend? Yeah. But did he help me out? No.
Right.
Man, that's deep right there. What can you say about like, cause talking about your own, I didn't even know we was gonna get into your experience, but I'm glad we did.
Because I hate speaking about other people when I actually have experienced it.
Yeah.
So why not talk about myself?
Yeah. So what was it? What was
I ain't embarrassed no more.
What were some of the things though? Because once you finally leave, that's just the first step. This is a process. So what you think helped you get through that whole thing?
Oh, it was a lot of lonely nights. Crying, thinking, I mean, even me and my mom got into it and it was like, I shouldn't have never left. Look at me now, I'm struggling. I was battling with myself.
Because you were coming from a relationship where even though it
I
was
had
abusive,
everything.
it was financially
Yes,
stable.
financially stable.
Right.
I had anything I wanted. If I wanted to go to the lot and go get me a new car, I could.
Yeah.
But now all I got is the clothes on my back that he bought me that I thought so much of in a car. Nothing else. I was lifeless. But hey.
So you had so would you say you had a good support system?
Yes.
Yeah.
I say my mom and my dad was a very good support system. But for his friends, no.
What about your self-esteem at the time?
Oh, it was down. I didn't care how I looked.
Really?
I wear a ponytail every day. And when I was with him, I was getting my hair done every week. Sometimes twice a week.
Just to be in the house.
Just to be in the house.
Ain't that something?
And that's true. You're right. Just to be in the house. But I was.
But you had nice clothes on.
Yeah.
Just to be in the house.
Just to be in the
house.
house.
But if you had to run somewhere, if somebody seen you, they know that's old boy girl.
Yeah.
You look nice and everything.
But she ain't going nowhere.
But on the inside.
I was crumbled.
Yeah. Ain't that something?
Yeah,
so we got our women walking around.
And sometimes that healing take a toll. Like when you're unhealed.
Yeah.
And you're being someone's friend and you see them having a good relationship and you wondering, like, why not me? Like, what's wrong with me?
Now you question yourself.
Yeah.
Like it's got to be me.
A lot of times the people, like you said, you was unhealed. You got to go through that journey of being healed. So you getting out of a fight with the person you was with, and now you in a fight with yourself to get into somewhere better.
Real bad.
And that's just what you know. It's the journey. I feel like, even though I haven't experienced that type of journey. But, you know, it's similar to different other. Well, you know, everybody go through their thing. And sometimes it's gonna be different, but you gotta get through it.
Yeah. And it's up to you. Everybody think you should get through it on their time, but I came through it on my time. Whether it was too late for them, I must have been right on time for me. You know.
Yeah, but I realized that when you could try to help somebody and do this and that, but like you just said, it's gonna be on their own time. Yeah. So your words, you be yapping to them, whatever.
Because the same girl told me to leave. I was mad at her. Don't call me now. I'm all broke.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. You told me to leave. I done left it now.
And she said, well, I left too. I'm broke too. I'm down here struggling in Georgia. Move down here.
Oh, so you.
Yeah.
Did you, when you first left, did you have any fear of retaliation?
Oh, yeah.
Was you kind of like scared just going certain places thinking you might run into him?
I did.
Really?
Yes, we used to have this, this club we had, he probably don't know, but it's called 10th Street.
Yeah.
And he came up there and poured a drink in my hair.
What?
Yeah, made me leave. I wasn't even with him no more.
And still made you leave.
Made me leave. And I was embarrassed, so I said, you still ain't got yourself back. You only got yourself back when he ain't around.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Made you leave with him or just later?
No, he just made me leave the club and he left with another girl in my face.
Wow.
Whoever he came with. So but he made sure he made me get up out of there.
So did you run into him often or every blue moon?
I stopped going out.
Was you scared when you seen him coming?
Yeah.
Like,
scared to death. Oh, I'm about to get my butt beat. Like, that's what I like. Yeah.
You just knew he was finna put his hand on you.
Yes.
Wow.
I haven't seen him since I've been gone either.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
What made you come? What like?
I started meeting his mom with the
Yeah.
kids. That's how bad it got. Cause every time I meet him, it was
Yeah.
trying to grab me up out the car. Or,
So how long before, like, from the time you left? How long was it before you actually came out into like how you was down at the club? Like when you started coming out like that?
First, I was out all the time.
Yeah.
That was like, I guess
Because you had been in the house.
Yeah,
so long.
so I guess it was like my therapy. Like I'm going out, I'm kicking.
Yeah.
Then, he really didn't hang over on our side of town like that.
Right.
But I don't know what made him come to the club, but he did.
Somebody might have called and said, "Yeah, she."
I don't know.
Ain't no telling around there, but
But as soon as he seen me, I mean, everything just stopped. And the girl I was with was like, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "My baby daddy in here."
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "Girl, so you ain't with?" She don't understand.
She don't
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, okay." She said, "We'll beat us." I said, "Girl, okay.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane."
Right.
Yeah, because you'll get beat up too.
Right.
I'm trying to tell you. She like, "You scared of him, but I ain't." And I'm like, "Okay." He came right over there, looked at me, he was like, "Get the hell up out of here." Yeah, like that. And I was like, okay.
I'm gone.
I'm gone.
Ain't nobody say no.
Nobody didn't stop it, step in.
Say nothing.
No.
Dang.
Nothing.
Well, they probably was scared, or just some people just don't care too at the same time.
And then like, what if she be back with him? Stay out of her business. I'm not about to be jumping in her stuff, and then she be right back with this man.
Because that happens a lot.
Yeah, but back then, I was mad, but as I got older, I understood, like, stay in your lane.
Man, that's a lot to be going through, man. It's a lot to be going through. So.
Yep, and it make you like not be able to trust nobody.
Yeah.
Whatever man you get with, you always thinking that it's a possibility that when he raise his voice, he do this, he gonna hit me. But you ready in a violent way, and you shouldn't be like that.
Yeah.
Like, if I gotta pull my strap, I am, because I'm not getting beat up no more.
Like I'm not going.
I'm not doing that. Yeah, but
that physical abuse now, and I'm gonna be honest, I have put my hands on a woman before. And
why?
Because I just didn't know no better.
But did you see it growing up?
Yeah, I seen it a lot, and I thought. I remember my mom telling me one time. She told me, she said, well, I had put my hands on my at the time girlfriend, and my mom said, do you want anybody hitting on me? I said no. She said, well, you don't hit on nobody else.
That's right.
She said, that's somebody's daughter. You don't do that. And I'm thinking like, dang, I said, you right. I know you right. And I did it again afterwards. But it wasn't something that was
Did you do it for
I was
control?
doing consistently. Anger. Mad.
And you chastised them like they was your child?
No, I never. Just in that moment.
That's what I'm saying. In that moment, you hit them like, shut up. Basically.
I don't remember like what the kind, because it was so long ago. I don't remember what the kind. I remember doing it though. I ain't gonna lie.
Did you apologize to him later?
Yeah.
Not in the moment, but later on in life.
No, like that time, and
But if you apologize to me and you do it again, then
it ain't really an apology.
Exactly.
It's just something that you do.
Yeah, but so I won't tell.
It wasn't. I would say not to justify what I did, but it wasn't something that I consistently did.
Done.
Like, oh, you got it. You stay in the house. Oh, we ain't with all that stuff, because no.
I get it.
I remember you mentioning. I think something about that, or how you was back then. You said it was kind of based off insecurities and stuff back then.
That has a lot to do with it too.
That you had about yourself, and all that other stuff. So
yeah,
I think.
And me too, because if it weren't for insecurities, I wouldn't have let a man treat me like that. My daddy didn't treat me like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It had to be.
And he didn't treat your mom like that.
He sure didn't.
So you didn't.
Right now to this day, I ain't never seen my mom open up a car door unless me and her went to the mall together and my dad wasn't there. Mm-hmm. Even when he's gonna go out there and start up her car, and before she go out there, he's gonna go out there and open up the door.
Oh yeah, if he that type of man, I see what you mean when you say.
I have a good. I got a great father, like for real.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's 7 of us.
Oh, dang. Yeah.
So I had brothers that would come do something to him too.
Mm-hmm.
But
Protect him.
yes, but as we was little, my mom and dad used to always tell me, don't run and get your brothers and them if you ain't done with a situation, because that's how people get killed.
Yeah.
I remember somebody running and get my cousin,
Mm-hmm.
and they got killed down there by 10th Street
Wow.
because you going through the same abusive stuff with a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And not understanding.
Yes,
Like, you got to cut it
this
off.
is what you caused.
Yeah.
This is the repercussions of what. Yeah.
Yeah. I definitely get that because, to call somebody and somebody end up getting hurt or losing their life, and then you still with the person?
Yeah.
Oh, my. I couldn't even.
And they will be.
Yeah.
They will be.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've seen it. I've seen it in I got 4 sisters,
Yeah.
and I've been like,
So you had to be a protector at one point in time.
Me and one of my sisters' boyfriend, we was just talking about this about a week ago. He said every time they got to it, he tell her, "Here come your hero." I'm talking about we fight like cats and dogs, and they stay together. You know what I'm saying? I remember one time they was fighting, and I come running in there, and me and him go to fighting, and we fighting, and we both tired, and he said, "Man, you hungry?" I was like, "Yeah, let's go get something." I'm like ain't nothing happened. This is how bad domestic violence was in the community.
Yeah.
We fought like
Thought
man,
it was
that man
okay.
fought, and he had me without hunger. I'm like, yeah, we left him. We made up that quick.
But I never thought it was okay. Because
Yeah.
that is embarrassing.
Yeah.
To be out somewhere and your friends seeing you get beat up.
Yeah,
That's embarrassing.
that's really embarrassing.
And then for another, say you weren't going to get in another relationship, but you've been in this relationship for a long haul.
Yeah,
And a man sees this. In your mind, you thinking he just want to get with me to treat me the same way.
cause he know.
Yeah.
He done seen you.
He done seen it.
Seen or heard that this is what you going
So that's
through.
his perception of me.
Yeah,
Like, this
yeah.
is what she about.
Yeah,
Give her a little money. I can beat her and cheat on her and do whatever I need,
She don't care.
She don't care. Yeah.
Dang, that's deep. Now, what do you? How long you think that affected you? Even after leaving, how long do you think? What I ain't gonna even say affected you. But how long you think it may have kept you from being a better version of yourself?
Long time.
Long time. Took a while.
Yeah. I said good 12, 15 years.
That's
I ain't even had no boyfriend all that time. That's how bad it was.
That's the power.
Which I thought I was healing and doing it for my kids, not bringing a man in the home with them so they don't have to see that again. But
really,
I hurt it myself in the long run.
Yeah.
But hey.
He's a 12 or 15.
Mm-hmm.
that's a long time. Because we talking about mental manipulation. So now the physical is gone. We just trying to get over the mental part and trying to build ourselves back up. Because once a person tear you down and you start to believe what they say about you, it might take you forever to get to the point where you understand, like, man, they was just using that to control me. And that's probably how they felt about
And people
their own
can
self.
judge you and say, I wouldn't dare, I would never. That's because you don't know their story.
Yeah,
They might have walked quietly,
yeah,
you know?
definitely.
So,
Yeah, another thing to talk about or mention is like in a situation where the dude and you're in a relationship and the dude is being controlling, hitting you in a domestic violence relationship, and you say once you make the decision to get out of that, you already are like growing past them because you was like you was thinking about whether you was gonna live up to what he was saying or what he said was gonna be valid about you not being nothing. But it's really you already doing something way better because I feel like his life or his living is based off him abusing the person, whoever it is, abusing the other person, and that's where they get their living from because they kind of trap themselves because it's their happiness or whatever their situation is based off of you and them in that situation. So once you leave and you can be able to find that for yourself, they don't have that.
Mm-hmm.
They still trying to figure out who the next person might be. Or they're lost. They lost without. Yeah, that's why they're so scared.
Really lost without you.
They got fear too, and that's them. You leaving. You did, and once you beat that, you already a step higher because you could be within. You can be with yourself and still be happy. They needed the abusing to do that. So,
and he always say he look at me different too.
Because
he was like, you the only person left me. That's what he always said. Yeah.
You had the courage to know that this ain't right, and I don't want my kids seeing or going through this.
But I wanted to be like the trend was, the streets was, this man with this money, this nice car. But it
because
wasn't
a lot
worth
of people
it,
push us in those. Girls talk to him. He got money. That's how.
It wasn't worth it in the end.
Yeah.
That's why I say people talking about, not that P Diddy ain't wrong.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But come on, I was 16 in high school. People was picking me up, taking me out to eat for lunch.
Yeah.
That shouldn't have been. It don't matter if I'm 16 and you 21.
Yeah.
You still grown. I'm a kid to you.
What? Yeah.
Yeah, but they do it. They did it.
What did you mean, R. Kelly? Or did
P. Diddy too.
Both
R.
both
Kelly
fall in
too.
the same category.
Yeah.
No, that's real. I remember men coming up to the high school. I remember a couple of them trying to at that particular time, the girl that I was dating, trying to talk to her, and she was like, such and such was trying to talk to me. I'm like, damn, he old. He like 7, 8 years older than
Twice
both of
your
us.
age.
You know what I'm saying? And having a problem with me just because this is my girl. I don't know that you like her. I don't like. It's crazy how some people think and how they mind work, because they feel like they can have whatever they want. Especially if people grow up like you said and they don't really have nothing, and then they come into some money, they turn into turn into a whole nother person.
They do.
And anybody who may have, like some people, like, I couldn't get this or get that, but they watch other people do it. Now they got money, and now they want all the attention. And now they want to boo-boo on other people. Because now the things I couldn't have, now I got all the control. And watch what I do. Now they want to talk to this girl, not because they like them, because they wanted them in the past and somebody else had them.
Yeah.
And they couldn't get them. But now, maybe that person ain't doing as well as they were when I tried to talk to her, but now I'm up. Yeah, so now, it's like, this crazy.
I think it's because that same person, all their time they spent trying to get to the money, chasing the money, but they still haven't found that stuff within. So once you get to that point, you got all this money, but you still don't feel that happy. So you feel like going back and trying to, I couldn't do this before, let me do this to make me feel like this or that, because you thought getting to this money would fix what was inside, but you never focused on that. You just focused on the money.
They thought getting to that money was gonna get them a pretty girl,
nice car, all this other stuff.
And what people don't realize, the pretty girl's the most insecure. Because everybody's always talking about them all their life. You think you cute. No, you think I'm cute.
Yeah.
Because I ain't said nothing.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
And that's another form of trying to break a person down. You think you cute instead of saying, hey, you a beautiful young lady. Or
just like as a community, we come from a small town.
Yeah.
Why ain't all of us cool? Why?
Most of us. Why even if all of us ain't gonna be cool, why most of us ain't?
But why do people respect snitches, or why do people respect those who done so much wrong to somebody? No, you ain't supposed to carry a person like they did it to you. Yeah. But you do supposed to carry a person like
how
they're capable of doing this. Yeah. So I'm gonna keep my distance.
Well, birds of a feather flock together. So a lot of people hang with people that they're similar to.
But that's like a small mind. Ain't nobody smart in the group.
No.
Ain't nobody gonna venture out.
No. Everybody's smart leaving.
Right. Definitely, because.
But them the ones that get talked about. The ones who leave.
Oh, it's always the ones that's trying to do something or grow from something that's getting talked about. Because the people, they don't want to do that, so they gonna talk about what they can't do.
Because when I left, you know what I heard?
What you hear?
She could have went to school here. She didn't have to go all the way to go to school. That ain't the only reason why I left.
You're right.
I left for my mind. Like that small town, you would stay in the same mindset. So if you don't venture out, because Georgia is totally different. They don't care what I'm doing. None of that.
No.
Get to the money.
Yeah.
Get to the money, and they gonna help you too.
Yeah. And be happy in the process.
Man, be happy.
Because people go out and they have fun. They ain't going out to fight.
No.
They're going out to have fun.
They
wanna
in
hear
they clean
music.
clothes.
Yeah.
They is not going. No.
Yeah.
It's
totally
not no
different.
time to fight.
Yeah, it's time to have fun.
Yes.
And I've been working hard all week. I'm trying to enjoy the fruits of my labor.
And trust me, y'all, the women outweigh the men here, but ain't nobody fighting over it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ain't nobody fighting over it. It just ain't going on.
No, it's too much to do. It's too many things to keep your attention. So no.
And I look up to the women that I see getting to the bag like that. I mean, man, I don't hate.
Yeah.
I go, come here, let me holler at you.
Yeah.
What you doing?
Exactly, and that's what I do. That's exactly like,
Yeah.
man. How you
Let's
get
go have
there?
lunch on me.
Yeah.
You know, let's talk.
How you get where you at? Because that's
Yes.
what I'm trying to be, and hopefully that people and a lot of people I have run into.
Because my cousin talked to me about stocks and bonds. I used to didn't know nothing about that. I might don't get an income tax check because I ain't got no kids, but I do get some money. You know, so
no, that's good,
you gotta get to the money.
There's different ways of getting to it.
It sure is.
And depending on who you're around, it's gonna depend on if you try to pursue something greater.
Yeah.
Because you are the company that you keep. So if you're around these abusers and losers, and some people, let me say something. Some people, and I hope everybody understand what I'm saying. Some people so broke, all they got is money. They got a broken spirit. They got a broken heart. They broken mentally. They broken emotionally. But they might have financial stability. And financial stability don't come with emotional stability. It don't come with physical stability. It just comes with financial stability. So even though you see a person with money, don't make them be a good person. They don't make them be a bad person neither. It's all on the individual basis because I seen both. I seen people with money who were good people. I seen people with money who were riding to the core. And I seen people that didn't have money who were good people. And I also seen people that didn't have money who were riding to the core. So I don't classify everybody as one big group of people. It's all individual basis. It's all on the individual. I've seen both. Seen people stay in relationship with people and they're abusing them and they don't got $2. But the mental is where it all starts. Like how you were saying earlier, it's all about the control of the mind. And the person, whether they broke or whether they have money, if they get control of your mind, then you like a robot.
It's over with.
Yeah, and they have control over you until they say, you know what, either you leave, either you die, or I go. You know, it's like crazy to actually be in a relationship, a grown woman, and have to have permission from another person to damn near wipe your butt.
And y'all out there take it serious. If they say I will kill you and me, they ain't playing.
No, they're not playing. The only thing they doing is they either building the courage to do it, or it's gonna take for something to happen.
They didn't already thought about it.
Yeah. For them to say it, the thought is already there.
The thought is already there.
Yeah. So take heed. Ooh, I ain't even think you right. If they say that out
the
their
thought
mouth,
process already ran through their mind.
Contemplated on how to do it and if I can get away with it, or if I'm gonna kill myself because I don't love me. That's why I'm beating you up so much because I don't have. So I'm gonna kill
both of us.
Yeah, because I don't want nobody to have
you. Yeah, and I don't want to be here myself. Wow. So I guess I take both of us out.
So words are so powerful. Let's just go and me and my son talk about words and how powerful they are. And I think sometimes we don't even take heed to those things like he said because we so used to hearing negative conversations. So when somebody says that, believe them. Yes. Because they mean it. If they put their hands on you,
I don't care if people say stuff out of anger. Yeah. Believe them.
Yeah.
It crossed their mind. It got to go to your brain before it come out your mouth. So they thought about it before they even spoke it. They just didn't care.
Yeah.
I hate for people to say, I was just mad.
Nah.
No, you meant what you said at that time.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can come back from it, sometimes you cannot.
Yeah, it really is dangerous out here. I had a friend who had a friend, and her dad took her and the kid, her and him. And I think he killed their mom and killed himself and the kid. And they all
what?
Yeah, and the situation happened. I'm pretty sure in McDonough or somewhere over in Stockbridge.
And you knew them?
I knew the friend. My friend had a friend,
Oh,
and
okay.
that's who it happened to. So yeah.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God.
heard
We had a
that.
situation right here in Fayetteville last year where a woman who go to my gym, her husband shot he shot her 3 times, set her on fire, and then buried her in the backyard.
I know them. I
You
know.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know them personally.
He went to Louisiana.
And then he told his dad about it.
That's
Had
yep.
his dad fly from St. Louis. They was from St. Louis. I used
That's
to
from St. Louis.
Yes, I used to talk to her because she had a business where she was a RN and she was running this company where she sent other nurses out. So I was like, how do I start a group home?
She was doing good.
Yeah, real good.
And she used to brag about him at the gym.
We used to go out for Halloween parties. They have a big old section. He paid for everybody's stuff. You would have thought they was in love. The vibe they had together was, oh my God. In their house, they had a pool. Here had a birthday party out there. I met him through another friend. You know, dang, I shouldn't have said names, but I met him through another friend.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, you would have thought it was beautiful. You would have never knew. No, at all. They was always all on each other. Just
And like I said, she used to brag on her husband at the gym. She wasn't like over there trying to, be seen. My husband this, my husband that,
And they was a nice looking couple, both of them.
But it was something
Internally with him.
going on with him. He probably
But she didn't believe him.
Yeah.
He said it. He said, I'm going to take my kids and I'm going to kill you.
Because they had,
That's what he said.
I think they had 2 boys.
I was gonna say, did they
had 2 boys.
Put out a story about what they say happened, or cause
Yeah, they put out a story.
I didn't do no follow up on it. I just, they sent everybody from the gym was sending me the thing like, you remember such and such, and they was telling me about what happened. I'm like, what? Then they sent me the article. I'm like, this dude crazy.
When I seen it, I called our mutual friend. She didn't even know yet.
She didn't.
No, she was like, what?
Couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that. That was, you shot this woman, set her on fire, then buried her in the backyard. That woman ain't did nothing.
So you was contemplating on how to do this.
Yeah.
And they both was well off. He was more in the entertainment business, but she was in the healthcare business.
And it just goes to show you, like we say, money don't mean nothing.
No.
It don't make you happy.
And they had just had the other baby.
Okay, just had a kid.
Yeah.
And now the kids don't have neither one of their parents. Because she's gone forever. He's gone forever.
But do you think they considered the dad as a snitch?
What you mean?
I mean, because that's how people talk, but I feel like he a hero.
Okay. No. She's talking about because his dad.
The one turned them in.
The dad of the husband, the husband's dad is the one. No, he did right. I don't care what they see him
Yeah,
as.
he did.
Because he had an obligation not only he had an obligation to that woman and to them children. Because I wish my son, I'm going to catch my son.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was
I'm going run away. You done deal watching this woman. You know what I'm saying?
Ever doing something like that.
Yeah, he was like empty his bank accounts, gave them to him and said, take this for my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And then thought he was just going to go on the run.
Yeah.
And
I
his
think
daddy
he went
said,
to Louisiana.
Yeah, he said he headed towards New Orleans.
Yep.
So they called him.
Yeah. His dad did right.
But he was very cooperative. With the police, said why he did it, and
Right. Wait, did they say why he did it?
He did it because it was a cowardly act. You don't do that. I don't care how mad you get.
But he said he told her to quit disrespecting me.
Really, that is so many other. Well, yeah, but you could already tell that he had already gave up with life.
Like she said, he had been contemplating. Yeah. It already had been a thought.
He could have grew and been jealous of her.
That's what I think it was.
Because he already had money. Then you married her and you helped her with her business, and her business then bloomed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I can't say, but it was sad.
But it just goes back to this thing when we talking about domestic violence. We give you this a whole nother situation where people both well off. And you just still don't know what's going on in a person's mind.
Money do not make you.
So don't.
You can have the nicest ride.
Yeah.
And the most messed up spirit.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make you.
It don't make
you. Make you.
It will break you if you allow it. Yeah, you make you, not money. So stop letting men control you with money, financial, materialistic things that you can't even wear. But like you said, you gonna get your hair done every week, but you ain't going nowhere. We ain't going to
And hey, when you 6 feet under, ain't nobody gonna see them clothes, all that jewelry that he was buying.
No, ain't nobody gonna see it when you alive, because you in the house. You know what I mean? Like, they building these women up, and they putting them in these homes, and they not allowing them to go nowhere. And if they do go somewhere, take them kids.
Yeah.
You better have them kids. That's enough. Ladies, please pay attention to that. A man will make you. Why the kids can't sit home with you? After a while I get, no, I don't want to hear that. You didn't have you wasn't crying when you was making them.
Yep, I need
don't
a
cry
break
now.
too.
You know what I mean? Your girl need a break too. They will always make you take them kids with you because they know, well, as long as the kids with you, I know you ain't nowhere cheating in front of them kids.
That's right.
I know you ain't gonna do that, and I know if a man do try to talk to you, you ain't gonna talk to him because the kids right there. Mm-hmm. Not only are they gonna tell, but you
gonna have respect for your kids
exactly.
as well. Yeah.
So they already know. You need. I want to go see my. Like, say you in another state, your mom or somebody. You better take them kids.
Yeah.
I want to go on a trip. You better take them kids. Why the kids can't stay with you? I feel like that is such a.
The only time the kids can't go if it's you and them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
know.
Yeah. Now we'll find somebody.
Yeah.
When it's me and you.
Yeah.
Because I really don't want to deal with the kids anyway.
Mm-mm.
That's why the kids can't stay, and the fact that I don't have no type of security about myself. I'm so insecure that I'm putting my insecurities on you. All the things that I'm feeling, the reason I'm attacking you is because that's how I feel on the inside. Mm-hmm. They telling you how they feel about themselves.
That's true.
And they want you to feel the same way that they about yourself that they feel about themselves.
Yeah, because how you treat others is how you vision yourself. That's how you look at you.
Exactly. These men have low self-esteem. They have a lot of things that they trying to put in you. They already got in themselves.
Facts.
Control. Don't take them kids. Ask them. Say. Look, I'm gonna go hang out with such and such. I'm gonna leave the kids here with you. Is that all right? Hell no. You ain't leaving them kids with me. You gonna take them kids with you, or you ain't gonna go.
You know what used to kill me about me, and I'm not babysitting. Them is your kids.
How are you babysitting your kids?
But okay.
and I know some people gonna watch this and they gonna hear certain things, and that's one thing they gonna hear. And it might make them laugh, but then at the same time, really think about that. How does that make any sense? How are you babysitting your own kids? I'm not babysitting. What are you talking about? They your children.
And women, this is from woman to woman. Quit putting on social media what you going through with your man. You crying out for help, and then next week y'all back in love. That doesn't look very,
Don't look like you really need help.
Right.
You want some attention.
Yeah.
And maybe he ain't giving you enough.
But then as soon as somebody get in and give you some attention, get in your business, it stay out my business.
Yeah.
But you put your business out there.
For everybody to see.
And the world to see.
So,
but you don't want nobody saying nothing about it.
Mm-hmm.
Think before you speak. Yeah. Or before you put out.
Or before you post.
Exactly.
Yeah. But before we get out of here, I do want to ask you, like, being who you are now compared to who you were then, what are some of the things that you think you could tell some of the people that's watching that may be in a similar situation that you were in? What are some things that you can tell them to maybe help them get out of the situation, or to help them understand that they are in that situation?
Right. No.
I feel you.
No, but seriously, if somebody's belittling you all the time, putting you down and not appreciating you going to work, you coming home, you cooking, cleaning, making sure that kids is straight and that the home front is straight, and he's still on you.
Yeah.
Leave. He don't appreciate nothing about you, and it's just gonna start getting worse. Mm-hmm. Cause now he gonna start saying names that ain't even true. You lazy, and you know you're doing everything. Mm-hmm. But when somebody do that to somebody you claim that you love, it mentally messes with you. Mm-hmm. So I advise you to leave. Mm-hmm. And I know you ain't supposed to tell nobody leave their man or their husband, but for your own mental, leave.
Yeah.
I promise you, because it's gonna get worse. And you're not going to be able to move on. And we supposed to be in love. We supposed to be with opposite sex and loving on them.
Yeah.
And them loving on us.
Yeah. And building a future for the children.
Yes.
You know, because that's a big.
You probably got a daughter or a son.
Yeah.
You don't want them treating a woman or a man like that. Because that's a reflection of you.
Ooh-wee.
So I know we've been talking about having self-love and all that. So a question that I have for you is like, at what point, because I know once you got out of the relationship, you said you wasn't with nobody for a certain amount of time. So what do you think could help people like discern between like, because you say that you not being with another person for that long kind of hurt you, like kind of stopped you from doing stuff or like accepting like maybe some love for somebody else who was actually trying to genuine. How did you decide when you feel like you could spend time with another person or let somebody in, or how did you just like pick
It's
the
probably
20,
6 years ago.
6 years?
Mm-hmm.
So what was like? What did
Because
you go through?
before then, it hurt so bad. I treat men the way I was treated. And did they deserve that? And they was really there for me. I talk about them. I talk down on them. I say names like, "Oh, you just my trick," or "You this," or "You that," and they was really being there for me and my kids. But I couldn't see. So later on, when I was ready to open up, my heart and my mind, somebody came along and showed me that it ain't all about that. It ain't all about this or that. And so I opened up too, and I gave it a chance.
Yeah.
Because if I didn't ever give it a chance, boy, and I call your daddy a lot. Because I've been knowing, me and Nisha was best friends, so I've been knowing him so long. You know what I'm saying? And I trust him. I don't care what nobody say. Like, he ain't never steered me wrong. And by talking to him, it helps me realize even my wrongs sometimes. Because one time I called him and I said, it's about me. I come first. He said, it's not all about you. And I was like, yes, it is. But he never give up on me. Other people might be like, oh, I call you back. Like, you crazy. You talking crazy. But he always try to make me understand. Like, just look. Yeah. Look a little deeper. Because sometimes I can be that person too. Because I done been through it and now I can be manipulative. And that ain't good, right? Because I don't want it done to me.
Yeah.
So it's about 6 years ago. Because look at me, I'm 40 and I'm just now about to get married. I've never been married before.
And congratulations.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Because you have came a long way.
A long way.
You come a long way.
I would mess with people, but it was like the roles was reversed. I'm the man.
Yeah.
I'm just kicking it. No, I don't go with you.
Right.
Yeah.
So see how I devalue myself
Even
as a
if they
woman?
wanted to take it farther, you wouldn't allow it to go.
But I devalue myself as a woman. Some men have said to me, you act like a man. And I'm like, dang, do I?
Do I?
I call him, I say, I act like a man. But you know what he say? He always got good advice. He's like, tell them if you act like a man, what they messing with you for? And then it'll make my self-esteem go back up. Yeah.
Okay. But I like your answer. So like, if you see yourself still doing stuff from like a past relationship, then you probably still need some self-healing. Yeah. And then probably wait until after you feel like you've done that to go and...
I'm a better communicator now. Okay. I talk about it.
And understanding that you need it. Because sometimes like I say, I left the streets, but really didn't understand that I still had that mentality until I recognized myself and what I was doing. I couldn't fix it.
Right.
Because I didn't even know it was a problem.
If I kept lying to myself, how was I going to know how to treat the next person?
Yeah.
Because I'm a liar. Yeah. So if I'm a liar, I'm about to go be manipulative, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm a liar.
Right.
But now I live in my truth. I can be myself.
Yeah.
I don't have to be embarrassed about nothing.
Right.
A man loved me for me, flaws and all.
Yeah.
So who am I to not appreciate that?
Yeah, definitely. No, that's real talk.
No, that's amazing. I just came back from a wedding the other day.
Yeah.
So,
Last night.
Yeah, last night.
So see?
Yeah.
And I never thought I'd get married.
And I always told you would.
Yep, you did.
Said, girl, this
I remember him and Maya when we was doing our show. They was like, "You gonna get married?" I said, "I don't want to get married. I ain't never gonna get married." And I never. How can I judge something I ain't never went through?
Yeah.
And I kept on. I said, "Girl, this is gonna happen." No, this gonna happen because I just know, you know what I'm saying? Once we...
And have I been proposed to before this time? Yes.
Oh, you have?
Yes, but did they want me? For me?
Probably
No. And I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
This man came to me a changed man. I knew this man, but never had no conversation with this man or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how you know of somebody from the streets, because y'all from the same town, and he had a lot of women, you know. But sometimes you just that one.
Yeah. No, you ain't. That's real. That's real. Sometimes you just that one.
Because he older than me, and he probably never thought he'd get married either. We never even talked about it. He just asked me.
Mm-hmm.
And usually a woman is talking about it, training the man like, I want to get married, like Valentine's.
Right, give him the deadline, or I want to get married by such and such time.
It was no pressure like that.
No, that's
it just came natural.
Yeah, and that's how it's supposed to come.
And I mean, I'm like, you should have seen the way I was like, I'm on the phone. I'm always on the phone. I'm like this. And he got down on his knees in front of me. I was like, what? You serious? Girl, let me call you back. So it was just
hold on. You gotta do that.
Yeah.
Do that for the girl.
It got heavy over here.
Yeah, and just show you, like, having this conversation about where you came from and where you at right now.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes to show everybody out here watching, your circumstances can change, but you have to have the inner strength, and you might want to have a support system too. You probably gonna need that too. But your situation can change, but you have to know that it can change.
You gotta want it.
Change. You
gotta heal within.
Yeah.
So you can know how to treat the next person.
Yeah.
Because I was all over the place.
Yeah.
But,
and with that being said, y'all, we just want to thank you for being our guest on that. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Beautiful conversation.
I enjoy talking to both y'all from different perspectives. A young man perspective. And a grown man's perspective. So
and we definitely want her back. Y'all want her back? And leave a comment if y'all would like to see her back on the show. And like I said, we hope everybody out there have a good day. Enjoy yourself. Peace and love. Take care.